Srimad Bhagavatam Lecture Zürich Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra ki Shri Gaur Nitai ki Nitai Gaur Pramanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Jai Shri Shri Guru Grama Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Happy Monday, everybody. It's a little white Monday. It's May 24th, and you're reading Canto 8, chapter 19, called The Lord Begs Charity from Adi Maharaj, and today we are reading verse 3. And this is a short verse. It's called Anushtup in Sanskrit. These are only 32 syllables, so you can repeat.
Yes.
Even without a book, you can repeat it as you practice. Shows they always have powerful memory, and these kind of verses they can repeat. Nahye tasmin kule kaschin, nahye tasmin kule kaschin, nahye tasmin kule kaschin,
Nahye tasmin kule kaschin,
Niksatva kripanah puman,
Nisatva kripanah puman,
Niksatva kripanah puman,
Niksatva kripanah puman,
Pratyakyata pratisrutya, Pratyakyata pratisruta, Pratyakyata pratisrutya, Pratyakyata pratisrutya, Yova data dijatyaye, Yova data dijatyaye, Yova data dijatyaye,
Yova data vijatyaye,
Nahye tasmin kule kaschin, Nahye tasmin kule kaschin, Niksatva kripanah puman, Niksatva kripanah puman, Pratyakyata pratisrutya,
Pratyakyata
pratisrutya, Yova data dijataye,
Yova data vijataye,
Nahye tasmin kule kaschin, Nahye tasmin kule kaschin, Niksatva kripanah puman,
Nisatva kripanah puman,
Pratyakyata pratisrutya,
Pratyakyata
pratisrutya, Yova data dijataye,
Yova data vijataye.
Nahi etasmin kule kaschin,
Nahi tasmin kule kaschin,
Nisatva kripanah punam,
Niksatva kripanah puman,
Pratyakyata pratishrutya,
Pratyakyata pratisrutya,
Yovadata dvijataye,
Yova data dijataye.
Nahye tasmin kule kaschin,
Nahi tasmin kule kaschin,
Nisatva kripanah puman,
Niksatva kripanah puman,
Pratyakyata pratishrutya,
Pratyakyata pratisrutya,
Yova data vijataye,
Yova data dijataye. Please take a sitting mat.
Thank you.
The deities will open probably in like a half hour. So, na,
Na,
not,
not,
Indeed. Etasmin, in this. Kule, in the dynasty or family. Kaschit, anyone. Nisattva, poor-minded. Sattva. Kripana, miser. Puman, any person. Pratyakhyata, refuses. Pratisrutya, after promising to give. Yahva, either. Adata, not being charitable. Vijataye, unto the Brahmanas. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. So this is spoken by Vamanadev in response to Bali Maharaja's offer to give him any charity. I know that even until now, no one taking birth in your family has been poor-minded or miserly. No one has refused to give charity to Brahmanas. Not after promising to give charity has anyone failed to fulfill his promise. This is the worst, one of the worst sins. You promise a Brahmana something and then you don't give him. It's mentioned by Yudhishthira in the Mahabharata when Yaksha is asking him, Dharmaraj, what is the worst sin? So he says, so very bad sin is to steal from the Brahmanas. So we have this story about Nrika, who by mistake didn't even steal, just by mistake. He gave some cows to one Brahmana, and then one cow went over to another Brahmana, and this Brahmana said, no, it's my cow. He said, no, it was this cow came back to Nrika, and he offered it again to another Brahmana. So the two Brahmanas started saying, this is my Brahmana. I said, no, you gave it to me. No, you gave it to me. So he said, I will give you 10,000 cows, 100,000 cows, but please let this cow go to that Brahman. He said, no, I want that cow. So he said to the other Brahman, please, I will give you 100,000 cows, but let this cow go to that. He said, no, you gave me this cow, I want this cow. And the Acharyas explained that they both had stopped taking charity already, so they didn't want to take anymore. And by this one mistake, King Nrika had to take birth as a lizard. Unfortunately. So Krishna, the sons of Krishna discovered that lizard one day in the morning. They were traveling, they were playing near Dwarka, and then they found I think their ball or something fell into a well. And well is Brune. And so they found this huge lizard there. They tried to pull it out, they couldn't. So they called their father Krishna, and Krishna just touched this lizard, and this lizard turned into a shining demigod. And then this King Nrika explained, yes, this is my story, and that's so Krishna used this story to demonstrate how dangerous it is to even desire Brahmana's property, and what to say about taking Brahmana's property. He says it is worse than poison, because poison kills just one person, but this kills a person in one life and also spoils the future lives for him and his family. And the same with and fire. So fire burns only, maybe burns now, but this fire of stealing from a Brahmana burns now and in the future lives, and also all those relatives connected to the person. Very nice. Yeah, thank you. It's much topic. Thank you. More difficult to fall asleep. Alright, so there is no purport here. I will read one more verse, verse 4. Nasanti tirte yudichartinartita parang mukhaye tvamanasvino nripa yushmat kuleya vyasasamalena prarada udbhadiyathodupadke. O King Bali, never in your dynasty has the low-minded king been born, who, upon being requested, has refused charity to brahmanas in holy places, or a fight to kshatriyas on the battlefield. And your dynasty is even more glorious due to the presence of Prahlad Maharaj, who is like the beautiful moon in the sky. So it's quite propitious, quite auspicious that the last few days we have many mentions of Shri Prahlad Maharaj, because day after tomorrow we have the appearance of Nrsimhadev, who appeared for what? What was the purpose? Why Nrsimhadev appeared?
To save his son.
To save
Prahlad Maharaj.
To save Prahlad Maharaj. That was the only reason he appeared, no? To save Prahlad Maharaj. Because the main reason was not to kill Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was to be killed by his own sinful reactions, but he came to save Prahlad Maharaj. So Prahlad Maharaj is mentioned in these verses because he is the grandfather of Bali. He was the father of Virochana, and then Bali is the son of Virochana. So his grandson. Okay. So your dynasty is even more glorious due to the presence of Prahlad Maharaj, who is like the beautiful moon in the sky. Purple. The symptoms of a kshatriya are given in Bhagavad Gita. One of qualifications is the willingness to give charity, dana. A kshatriya does not refuse to give charity when requested by a brahmana, nor can he refuse to fight another kshatriya. A king who does refuse is called low-minded. In the dynasty of Bali Maharaj, there were no such low-minded kings. Nasanti tirte yudichartinartita parang mukhaye tamanasvino nripa yushmat koleya desasamalena prarada udbhadiyathodupakke. O King Bali, never in your dynasty has the low-minded king been born, who, upon being requested, has refused charity to brahmanas in holy places, or a fight to kshatriyas on the battlefield. And your dynasty is even more glorious due to the presence of Prahlad Maharaj, who is like the beautiful moon in the sky. Yasya prasadadagyopi sadhyaksa vigatam pravetsa Shri Chaitanya Deva Bhagavatam Lecture. Tam Srimad Krishna Chaitanya Devam Vande Jagat Gurum Yasyanukam Payaswapi Mahalim Sankretsukam. I offer my respectful obeisances to the Jagat Guru, teacher of the whole world, Lord Shri Chaitanya, by whose grace even a lowly dog can cross a big ocean very happily and easily. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Life is based on giving. There was one interesting person in America who founded a very powerful method for controlling the mind and removing undesirable emotions from the mind. Definitely he must have been a yogi in his past life. It was a method very similar to yoga. And he was very sick. His doctors sent him home to die. He had ulcers, several times he had ulcers, how do you say ulcer in German? What do you have? Inflammation in the stomach.
Geschwitzt.
Geschwulst. So sometimes there's even a hole in the stomach. It can be so bad. So in the stomach, and then it becomes worse, big, very bad pain. Well, in Zürich that's gastritis, and ulcer it's when already it becomes turning into a loch, into a hole. So he had several times, and then he had developed many other problems, high blood pressure, this and that, and he was practically, he had severe heart problems, and so he went to doctors, and doctors basically told him, well, you have lived, 43 years, 46 years, so it seems that it's already it. You have to prepare to depart. So this guy was, so they told him, don't make anything, write down your testament, don't do any difficult work, and there's nothing we can do for you. You can just go home and prepare. Maybe you have 3 months. So just imagine. So he went home, and then he started just remembering his whole life. He was an entrepreneur. His name was Valenson, and he started thinking, when in his life was he happy? And he started remembering different moments when he was happy, and he remembered his girlfriend. He thought that was the time when he was happy. And then he thought, why was he happy with that girlfriend? Because in fact, there were many women who would be who wanted to marry him and who apparently loved him. But he didn't want to marry them, and he wasn't apparently happy with his relationships, and not even relationships, just the fact that they love him. So he came to a conclusion that when he was loved, he wasn't happy. It was not enough. When somebody loved him, it was not enough. And then he realized that the only time when he was happy was when he loved another person. So in other words, when he was giving somebody something else. And then he developed this very interesting method, which he actually called surrender. Surrender. He said, let go and let God. So in other words, Hare Krishna. Let go of your attachments, let go of your own, these emotions in the mind, grief, anger, fear. And then he realized that even though his girl left him 20 years ago, he still didn't let her go. He still couldn't agree with that. He still couldn't agree that she left him. He still was angry about this. So then he realized that this is very stupid. First of all, if he loved her, then she should be, if she's happy somewhere else, then he should be also happy. And second of all, the only result that gave him was, this ulcer, these holes in the stomach, and heart problems and this and that, so many troubles. So he was just harming himself. As some of the ancient Roman philosophers said, that when you are angry, you are like a person who is carrying a burning coal. Coal, how do you say?
Kohle.
Coal, yeah. Burning coal. Burning, and waiting for a chance to throw the person. But you don't get this chance to throw very often. So most of the time, who is suffering? Who is being burned? It's me, myself. It's I myself who is being burned by keeping that anger. And even if I throw, this burning coal, so So what? So maybe it will hit, for a second, and then it falls down. So how much does it burn? Not much. Not much problem. So the only person who is actually burned is me by that anger. It's only me who is hurting myself with anger and with all the other, these kind of emotions. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, nobody can harm you unless you allow them. So in other words, we in our mind, we allow them to harm us. We accept, we become angry, we become disturbed or depressed or fearful. In other words, we accept the harm, accept the pain, and carry it, and say, yes, I am angry, yes, I am hurt. We agree, we accept it. So then he realized, it's foolish. Why am I carrying this? Why do I hold on to something that's not mine anyway? She's not mine anyway. And so why am I making myself suffer by suffering about it? So he started for 3 months. All he was doing, he was just remembering his life, and he was just releasing all the attachments. And funnily enough, after 3 months, he became a totally healthy person. Completely healthy person. His ulcer healed, his heart, the doctors could not believe when they saw him. He was so healthy. And he lived another 46 years, or 43 years after that. And he also founded some kind of thing to teach people to surrender. He wrote quite a humble book, which he ends by saying, surrender to God. So surrender. Even though he's mostly impersonal, he was mostly impersonal. He read some Upanishads afterwards. Definitely he was a yogi from before. So why am I bringing this up is that his discovery was that we are happy only when we are giving. Also, as I mentioned, the person is, the British scientists, they measured the activity of the brain, and in the brain there are different centers, and there is a center responsible for pleasure. So if you are pleased, if you are happy, then this center is active. And they can measure how active this center is, more or less, with, I don't know how it's called, electromagnetic scan or something. And they measured activity of this part of the brain after a person eats some nice good food, then during and after sex, and also after charity. And they found that when a person is charitable and the person gives something to others, the pleasure center is more active than after food and sex. The charity or welfare activity, service to other, voluntary service is more pleasurable. It gives more pleasure to the person than anything else in this world. I mean, the most so-called pleasurable activities we think that are the most pleasurable in this world. So charity. So here Vamanadev glorifies charity, and this was a very well-known fact in the Vedic society. So the Kshatriyas were in rajas, in passion, but passion meant that the Kshatriya will not hesitate to sacrifice his body if necessary. That was passion. That's what passion is. So he is ready to give anything, he is ready to give everything in charity to the Brahmanas. And there was a story when Arjuna was conquering different kingdoms for Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, and for that all the different kingdoms had to be conquered, and his different brothers went to different directions. So somebody went north, somebody went south. I think Bhima went south, or east. That's where he met that Samudrasena in Bengal, right? And then somebody went west. So Arjuna, in his conquering trip, he came to the kingdom of Malaya Dvaja, and he couldn't conquer him. Even though Arjuna was very powerful, he was fighting with Malaya Dvaja, and Malaya Dvaja was inconquerable. So Arjuna was surprised, and then he asked Krishna, what is this? Why I cannot conquer him? So Krishna said, well, I will show you. So he said, come with me. I will dress as a Brahmana, and you will dress as my disciple, as my brahmachari, and we will go visit King Malayadvaja, and I will show it to you. So they were dressed like this. So they went to King Malayadvaja, and they came to his kingdom. They came to his palace, and then Krishna, dressed as a Brahmana, started complaining. He said, "King, what is this?" He said, "What is your kingdom? What is happening in your kingdom? Just see. I entered into your kingdom with my disciples, and in the forest, on the forest path, a tiger attacked us, and this tiger ate one of my disciples. So, what kind of king you are that such things happen in your kingdom?" So Malayadvaja said, "Oh, Maharaj, I am very sorry. Is there anything I can do? Is there anything I can give you to maybe I can give you some nice brahmacharis who will serve you, some nice boys who will serve you?" He said, "No, I'm not. I don't want anything of this. What I want is I want the left half of your body." So Malayadvaja said, "All right, okay." It's a very drastic story. So then the king said, "Okay, so all right. So what you want me to be cut, and you want to have the left side of my body?" He said, "Yes, I want that." So he lied down, and they called some, I don't know what person would cut the king, but they called someone who would be cutting the king. And so he came to start cutting, and his wife said, "Oh, Brahmana, please, it is said that wife is a half of the husband's body, so please take me, don't cut my husband." And Krishna, in disguise as a Brahmana, said, "You want to cheat me? No, I said the left half. It is said that the wife is the better half of the person's body, and so that is the right half. And I said I want the left half. So you're not suitable. You're the right side. You're the better side, and I want the left side." So she was crying. She didn't know what to do. And then So this guy, he actually started cutting the king. He took a sword or something, and he started cutting the king. And as he started cutting the king, a tear rolled from king's eye. And then Krishna, he was already cut a little bit, and Krishna said, "Hey, stop! What is this? You are crying? You don't want to be cut? You are not happy that this charity is given? Hey, stop! Don't cut him! What is this? You don't want to give? Why are you crying?" And Malayadvaja said, "Oh, please don't stop! Don't worry! Please look! You see, I'm crying from my right eye, not from my left eye. It's because my left part is going to serve you, and the right side of the body is feeling sad that it cannot serve you. So only the left side is serving you. So that's why the right side is crying that the right side cannot do anything good for you. So that's why it's crying. So please continue cutting. Please take what you want." And so then Krishna stopped this whole drama, and he healed the Malayadvaja king immediately. He made him whole and healthy, and then he turned to Arjuna and he said, "So now, do you understand why you cannot conquer him? Because he's ready to give anything to Brahmanas, and he's never angry at the Brahmanas. He's always ready to serve. He's ready to give his half of his body. He's ready to die at any moment. He's ready to die for the Brahmanas. So how can you conquer him? He's inconquerable. No Kshatriya can conquer such a king. So Arjuna, there is no way you can conquer. And so, but then he revealed that he's actually Krishna and this is Arjuna. So then when Malaya watched, he saw, oh, this is Krishna. Then he said, oh my Lord, I'm so happy that you have come to me. It's such a blessing. I didn't think that Arjuna and Yudhishthira they are your devotees and that they are fighting for your service. That's why I didn't surrender to them. But now that I see that you are on their side, now that I see that you are coming with Arjuna, then very happily I accept Yudhishthira as my emperor. So please take gifts, send all the gifts to Yudhishthira and I accept, because they are your devotees. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy to accept them as my Lord. So Krishna illustrated the power of this Brahminical service in the Vedic culture. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai. Shri Shri Gaurnita ki jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra and also Sudarshana. Sudarshana. And we have the club today in Baladev's hands. Krishna's club is called Kaumodaki, but what Balaram's club is called, I don't know. Anybody knows? Balaram's club? What's the name? Alright. Krishna's club is Kaumodaki, described in the third canto, covered with blood of demons, protecting his devotees. So, here Vamanadeva again, he glorifies charity. And he says that never was there any king born in your dynasty who was poor-minded. Prabhupada's ingenious translation, poor-minded. So I don't even know how you can translate it in any other language, poor-minded. What do we have in German in verse 3?
Niedrig gesinnt.
Niedrig gesinnt. Okay, so low-minded. Yeah, good. So in Sanskrit it's niksatva. Niksatva means no sattva, no goodness in the mind. And kripana, misers. So miser is someone who doesn't give anything to others, but he himself also doesn't enjoy it. He himself also doesn't use it. So sometimes you can have very rich people who never use anything for anybody else. This famous character in Charles Dickens' novel Christmas Carol, I think it's called, Scrooge. Scrooge. He was very miserable, and then he met some ghosts who told him that I was also miserable, and then he had a change of heart and he became very generous. He started going around and helping children and helping everybody. So Kripana is someone who's very foolish. So charity, we are changing our situation by charity. So it is working. We are the happiest in charity. It's also described that, again, modern science says that the biggest satisfaction people achieve is from children. So again, this may be sounding a little strange because nowadays children seem to be more and more rebellious than disobedient, but still that's the conclusion of the why they are rebellious and disobedient, because we are like that, right? It's getting, we were the first who were rebellious and our parents probably were before that also somewhat rebellious, so it's going, every generation more and more. But still, it is concluded that love for children is the biggest satisfaction in this world. And also if you compare, who is more attached, children to parents or parents to children?
Parents to children.
Parents to children, yes. So why? Why is that? Can you tell me? What is the reason that parents are more attached.
The parents wanted the child?
The parents wanted the child. Well, the child also wants parents to take care of him. But okay, they wanted the child. No, not always. Sometimes they didn't.
They see no difference between them and the child.
Okay, they identify. They think, yes, this is me. This is my expansion. This is the Vedic idea. The father sees the son as themselves. So in India, yeah, they love children very much. And you can also see, it's quite amazing. When I came to India, I changed my view on children because I have seen so many children that are completely peaceful. They're not crying, screaming, and you can see from this to that, they're just peaceful and sitting there, sometimes with the father in the shop, and sometimes they help. So many times in India I was sold goods in a shop by a small child, because the father went away somewhere and the child was there, and the child knows the prices, knows everything, and he sold it. And some of them they showed such wisdom and maturity as you don't get by getting MBA, by graduating from a university. Still, many graduates, masters of business administration and whatever, they still don't have such skills and maturity as some of these children. They assess you, they know psychology, they know how to talk to you, they know how to make you feel welcome, and they go down a little on the price to make you feel good, and then you have this experience? A small child. It's quite amazing. So in India they love children, but even here, children are the biggest source of happiness. So okay, any other ideas why we would love children so much? Why children would be the source of happiness?
Like an expansion of themselves.
Expansion of themselves. All right, but then...
because we can serve them.
Yes, we can serve them. So that was one secret that Ambarish Prabhu, the grandson of Henry Ford, from the Ford company in America, the one who founded this automobile production company. He once revealed a secret to Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. He said, this is how he said he knows a very simple and effective way to remember Krishna. He says there is one way you can never forget Krishna. So he said, how is that? That's what we want, to remember Krishna. He says he knows from business that there is one way, if you do something, you can never forget something. He says this is when you invest money, and a lot of money, in something. Then you always think about that. Just like, devotees don't do this very often, but sometimes they also do that. Invest in some shares in stock market. Stock market is Börse. Yes, Börse. And shares are Aktionen. Yes. So you buy some shares, and if you suppose you invest a lot of your money, so then every day you are looking in the newspapers or on internet, and you see, oh, is it going up? Is it going down? It's going down. Oh my God, it's going down. Why is it going down? Oh, maybe because of the weather. Oh, maybe because of the Greek crisis. In Greece there is a crisis. Oh, maybe this is because of that. You always think about this investment. Yeah. I was in the home of one multi-millionaire who was Indian, who was helping devotees, and I saw in his home he has a huge screen over the whole wall. The whole wall is one big screen, and on this screen he has live real-time stock quotes transmission. So the lines, like you have the for the cardiogram, whatever you call it, for the heart. This it shows how the heart is going. So he has it on the wall for the stock market. So he has the prices of gold, he has the prices of silver, he has the prices of different shares, and in real time it goes here, there, go up, down, up, euro, there, here, there, and he's always watching it. And I remember we were talking, we were discussing something, and then he said, "Excuse me, one moment." And then he takes a phone and he calls and he says, "Please, okay, this stock, please buy 4 marks. And that stock, sell 5 marks. I don't know what means mark. Is it a million? Is it, I don't know what it is. But he immediately noticed something and he immediately said, that stock you buy and this stock you sell. And then he was, so he was always conscious. He was discussing something, but his mind was always there. It was, so Ambarisha, this is how you can remember. So you invest. You invest money, energy, your life, and parents invest so much into a child. Like, I don't know about here, but in America, to raise a child and to get the child through college costs at least a few years, now it's probably more. It costed $300,000. $300,000. So that's like, how much? This is like, yeah, it's approximately 300,000 Swiss marks, because Swiss mark is now not so different from a dollar. It's just a little less, right?
A little less, yeah.
A little less. So it's like 3,300 Swiss marks to raise a child till he or she is 20 or 25. That's a lot of money. I mean, I don't know here what's the situation here. Maybe you get some help from the state or something, but still, it's a lot of investment. And how much energy, and how much, for the mother, she invests her, sleepless nights, sleepless days, and she's so much is invested. This is such a sacrifice. This is why Veda is stressing that we are indebted to parents. So we have to be respectful and kind to our parents always, no matter what. And what is the result? Is that they are attached, very much attached. They are more attached than the children, because we usually don't invest much in our parents. Maybe we grow up and then a little bit something, but that's why we are not so attached. Maybe if we are grateful, if we have gratitude, then we feel gratitude and love for our parents. This is good. It's nice. So we can bring them prasadam, we can bring them some beautiful books, like there's this beautiful book, Light of the Bhagavatam. Beautiful illustrations and suitable for any audience, any person can appreciate. Simple, straightforward truths, description of autumn, how to appreciate Krishna in nature. Very, very nice, simple and easy preaching. And just a beautiful book. Anybody saw this book, Light of the Bhagavatam? It's a reddish book, Chinese illustrations. Prabhupada prepared this book for a Japanese conference on humanism. And it's very special, very special book among Prabhupada's books. So something, And at least from time to time, call them, write them a letter or something, just to say hello. How are you, and so forth. So, yeah, the source of satisfaction is in giving. So whenever a person is depressed, or whenever a person is sad, it can be very quickly changed if you try to do some of this. Just go and give something to somebody. Just go and do something good to somebody. And even if you are a brahmachari at the temple and your possessions are 2 dhotis and 3 kaupinas, and that's all you have, so what can you give, right? Even in that case, we can give good words. We can go and say, oh, you look very bright today. Oh, yesterday you asked a very nice question in the class. Oh, I really appreciate how you made this very nice comment the other day. Say something appreciative, good words, even good words is something. This is the problem of Kali Yuga. We are miserly even for good words. You don't even want to give good words to other people. They think, no, he'll become proud or something. Or at least ears. We can go and give us our ears. Go and ask, how are you? What do you feel? You look thoughtful, pensive, thoughtful. How do you say thoughtful? Nothing. It means like you are going and thinking about something. So you ask, how do you feel? Do you feel okay today? And ask them, and then ask again. And so give them, just listen. Listening is a very simple way to help the other person. Something I discovered in my youth, childhood, that if you just listen to people, they will become a friend. Nothing special. It's so simple. It's amazing. Just listen. And when they stop, ask a question on what they spoke. And then again they speak. And I was surprised. You just listen, ask questions, listen with interest. Everybody has something interesting to say. So you just listen. You listen. And then when they stop, ask a question. Then again speak. Then again you ask a question. Then again they speak. So after just a few moments, they are your best friend. They feel so good about you. They think, oh, this person understands me. Or this person has some interest in me. Of course, understanding is a little higher. It's when you listen and then you say, oh, you feel like that. And you try to understand, oh, that's what you feel. So then they feel, oh, finally someone understood me. And the person feels such a support and such a acceptance in this world. So charity doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a millionaire or even just, to have any money to give charity. There's always something you can give. Even if you're living in a temple, and you can give some sweets, nice sweets. I know probably in Zürich this is not such a big rarity. Perhaps everybody can get a sweet without big endeavor. But something, good words. Good words are rare. Listening, good ears are even more rare. And when you listen and give back, if you can reflect, if you can understand, and show, oh, you probably feel like that. That's probably what you feel. It seems you're feeling a little bit perplexed, like confused, perplexed. How do you say this here? Verwirrt. Okay, verwirrt. So, or you feel unsure, uncertain, or you feel insecure, something like that. And you feel like this. And if you, approximately match what the person, or you feel very tired by everything, or frustrated, or you feel insulted, or you feel whatever the person feels. Or you feel inspired, you look very enthusiastic, you feel very, very inspired by what's happening. Just, reflect the feeling of the person. The person feels air. He has an air to breathe. He is among friends. He sees somebody understands me. Somebody can talk to me, somebody can hear me, because sometimes it can be too personal. You may live together and never talk to each other. And charity, this is a simple charity, but something can be done. And guess what? It's gonna change not simply the other person's, what the other person feels, it will change what you feel. If before that, you were depressed and you thought, oh, life is useless, oh, this Krishna consciousness is so difficult, oh, life in the temple and is
demanding or, oh, I'm useless, Krishna consciousness is for very high people, I cannot do this, it's so difficult, or I'm a demon, Krishna is so far away and I have no ecstasy while chanting, what's the, so you feel, kind of down, bad mood, that's just the mood. And you just go and try to do something good to somebody. Just say something nice to somebody, just listen to somebody, just say some good words to somebody, and then you see all of a sudden this cloud of bad mood is gone. It goes away, and the sun of Sattva moon, the sun of Sattvic consciousness starts shining in the heart, and you feel you have clear vision and you have enthusiasm and inspiration. You haven't got anything, nobody gave you anything, nothing changed externally. What changed, you gave something to somebody. And you gave, didn't even cost anything. Costed nothing. But you gave some good feeling, good words, or just hearing, some charity, which everybody can do. So this is something you can learn from here about charity, the importance of charity. And this is what Vamanadeva glorifies in Bali Maharaj and in his dynasty. That in your dynasty, all the kings were always charitable. No one was miserly. So everybody was very happy to give charity to others. And it's not an accident that this is one of the very important qualities of a kshatriya. Yes, leader. So a leader is very happy to give something. That's their satisfaction, nobility, that they can give something valuable to others. Thank you very much. You have been hearing very attentively. You have been very charitable to me. Thank you all for coming, for giving your ears and bright and enthusiastic eyes. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments here? Yes, Vrindavan.
You tell from the story from King Zürich.
Zürich.
He gives charity to the brahmanas.
Yes.
When I listen this, I think, how strange people are the brahmanas.
They refuse.
Because the king offered them, I give you 1,000 cows. Yeah. Please, I cannot give you this cow back. I will give you 1,000 cows. And the brahmana says, no, I want this cow. And I think, how strange are the brahmanas?
Yeah, it sounds strange.
This is childish somehow.
I cannot believe that. I can understand. There was a king in Vrindavan. He advised his fighters to every day to kill so much brahmana that he can give 1 kilo of the brahmanas, something like this. When I hear this story, I can really understand also how strange people they are. What should I think now?
Strange people. Who is strange people? The brahmanas that Aurangzeb killed?
And the brahmanas. Then he said because the brahmana, the king offered them, I give you 1,000 cows.
Yeah.
Please, I can give you not this cow. I give you 1,000 cows. And the brahmanas.
Yes. I don't know if you heard. I mentioned. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the explanation why they refused. He said that these brahmanas, they already stopped taking charity. So a brahmana at one point can refuse to take any more charity. So these brahmanas, they didn't take any more charity. So they couldn't. They promised, I will take no more.
Okay.
So the king told them, I will give you thousands of cows, but they couldn't take because they promised that I'm not accepting any more charity. And maybe that was his only cow or something.
Okay.
So this cow was already his, so he could keep it. But new charity, he promised, I'm not taking anymore. So that was the explanation of the acharyas in the commentary. Because they promised no more charity.
Okay.
And Aurangzeb, he was killing brahmanas not because they were strange people, but because he killed his brothers. He killed you know what birthday gift he sent to his father? His father, who built Taj Mahal, Shah Jahan, his father, he was put in a prison from where, he's so cruel, this Aurangzeb, it was amazing. He was, what was he doing? He, I think he put Shah Jahan in such a place that he could never see Taj Mahal, and he could never see even, so he found some place in the prison which was the most painful for the Shah Jahan to stay. And for his birthday, what did he send? He sent the head of his beloved son, his own brother. So that was Aurangzeb. And if his grandfather, Akbar, he was able to unify all the kings, the whole India, by his magnanimity. He was very tolerant, he accepted all religions, he supported all religions, he built temples, he built some temples for the Goswamis in Vrindavan. To Jiva Goswami, he was very impressed. He sent him a lot of paper, which was very expensive in those days. So he sent him paper for writing books. So Akbar, and that's why he's called Akbar, great. He was great. Then his son Shah Jahan, he was already a little, more not so great. But his grandson Aurangzeb, he destroyed the empire of his grandfather, because Akbar, he united many kingdoms, and they were living together peacefully. Aurangzeb, he lost all the kingdoms, and all the kings again became inimical with each other. And all he left, that was just a little piece, and that's all he had left. He destroyed all the accomplishments, and he was so angry. He destroyed Govindaji in Vrindavan, the temple, or desecrated some other temples, and he was just imagine taking his brothers and cutting off their heads and sending them to his father as birthday gifts. So from that you can understand why he was killing the Brahmanas, not because he didn't like some personality, some characters of some of these Brahmanas. Not at all. He was hating everything. He was hating his father, he was hating his brother, he was hating everybody. Yeah. So definitely he was hating everything that was not Muslim. These like narrow-minded people who have power, they always try to find somebody, oh, this is not mine, this is foreign, this is not me. Even his own family he hated. So what to say about Hindu Brahmanas? So even more so he was hating, so that's why he was killing. He was trying to destroy all the other religions.
Who is this again?
Aurangzeb. He was a terrible character, it's incredible.
Okay.
Terrible character. So that's why he was killing. And these Brahmanas, so they just had a vow that they would not accept charity anymore, so that's why.
It is not one of the duties of Brahmanas to accept charity?
It's not a compulsory duty. It's one of the 6 duties, yajan, patan, dana pratigraha, to learn and teach, worship and help worship, and to accept charity and give charity. But out of these 6 duties, 3 are compulsory, mandatory, and 3 are optional. So learning, giving charity, and worshipping are compulsory, Brahmana must do. But teaching, he may or may not do, depending if there is qualified disciple or students or no. He doesn't teach just to anybody. Then accepting charity, he may accept, he may not accept. That's his choice. Like again, he may refuse charity from some people. He will refuse a charity from someone who is not pious. He will refuse charity from a butcher, for example. He doesn't need this charity. He can survive. And doing yagyas for others, worshipping for others, he can also refuse. Like some people, again, some people don't follow the principles, they don't do this, and they want some yaga. So he will say, how can I make a yaga for you? You are not even following the principles, so you will break the rules immediately after the perform. How will I do this for you? So 3 are mandatory, compulsory, and 3 are optional. He can do, he may not do. Or he may come to a stage in his life where he starts renouncing. So then again, he will stop taking charity and he will stop, because charity, teaching, and doing puja for others, that's the source of income. That's how he gets money. And if he wants to become renounced, because they will give him some donations and everything, when he worships for others, they give him donations also. So when he wants to become renounced, when he becomes older or something, then he can say, okay, I take no more. And I just end my life in just worshipping and purifying myself, and I wind it up, so to say. So they're not compulsory. Okay? Okay, thank you very much. So please experiment with this. When you don't feel in great spirits, give something to somebody. Do something good. Go and you can do openly, or you can do secretly something nice for somebody. Or you can just go and say something true and good. So find a good quality and say about this to the other person. Or just listen. And just listen what the person feels and has to say. And then you see what happens to what you feel. Help others. And see if your mood and condition is changed. Krishna says that out of everybody, the one who is most dear to me is the one who preaches in the Bhagavad Gita. Correct? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much.
Adi-Purusha Prabhu ki.
Lord Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.